Hi everyone, this is Miss Cheryle from Countdown to Kindergarten. Today I'm going to be making an owl made from things that we recycle and things that we find in nature. So what I need is I have like a butter box, and I'm using this because on the other side of this box I have a white background. So as you can see, there's nothing on this side, but it's a really good sturdy cardboard. And then I have a piece of cardboard from a cereal box because I need something heavy for this activity because of all the materials that I'm going to be using with it today. And then I also have an egg carton that I cut off the top, and I'll need some markers, some scissors, glue sticks. I'll have plenty of glue. I'm also going to use some outside materials that I found, like some branches. This is mint. So I have a lot of mint that grows in the yard. So I took this mint and I'm going to use the roots for their feet. And then I also have I have a piece of fern that I have. So let's get started. I also have one more thing. I have this pine that fell off the tree, and this little pine is what I'm going to use for the center. So anything that you can find in your yard is usable. So let's just get started. What I did is I drew a template of an owl, just like the outside, and I looked at it as maybe drawing the number 8. So you see it has a big top and then down the bottom. So I will draw that a little bit darker so everyone can see it. And this is just freehand. It's not anything great. I mean, I just just try to think about it as, again, the number 8. So as you can see, that's what it looks like. Then I'm going to cut it out, and make sure you have a really good pair of scissors because this does take a little bit of work. If you're going to let the kids do it, what I would suggest is that you cut it really close to the picture. So like this, just like cutting it really quickly for them. And then that way they don't have so much material to work with. And then this is how it would look. And then they can finish cutting because then it will be easier for them to cut because there's not so much cardboard that they have to go around. So I'm going to cut this out really quickly just so that we can see what our shape is. And again, this is all recycled stuff that I have or that we throw away. All right, so there's my shape. Well, the next thing I wanted to do is, remember those leaves that I was talking about with the mint leaves? Well, these right here is a really good activity for the kids to do, is learning how to pinch from the leaf from the branch. So if they pinch it, they can pull them off. If they rip them, they're going to rip the leaf and then it's only a little piece. So teaching them how to get really close to the stem, holding onto it and pinching really close and pulling. So it gives you a full leaf. Well, I'm just going to take off a few of these just so I can show you what we're going to do. All right, so that should be good. Well, what I decided that I would like to do is use this for my owl. These mint leaves, they smell really good. And then I said, hey, why not use them? Because they look like feathers. So I'm going to put some glue at the bottom of my owl. And we're going to start from the bottom because that's what we want, is the feathers to look just like that. I think I'll bring it up a little bit more so it doesn't hang over. And I just am going to layer the leaves just like this. And then I'll continue all the way up. So I will do that again just so you can see one more row, and then I will show you what I did next. And as you can see, I have some leaves that are big and some that are small. So I just want, again, we're just layering the leaves. And you could use either side because even the back has a really pretty veining effect on it. So you can even alternate them because when you look at a bird, sometimes their feathers don't all look the same. So you can move it back and forth like that. And then as you can see, we are starting to build on our owl. Well, the next thing I wanted to do is that I really like this egg cotton because if you look, it looks like an owl with a nose. So if I use this side, I have a really good effect. He even looks like he's got eyebrows. But you can use any part. So I'm going to cut that out. And again, this is a little difficult for the kids to do, but you know, what's really great is that they could actually use the glue and help glue this on. So again, that's what I have. So it already has the eyes and the beak. Well, remember that butter carton that I had? Well, here's where it's going to come in handy. It's going to be for the wings. So what I did is I cut it up into different sections, and then I drew my wing, and then I put it on top of this one so it looks the same, and I cut out two. So you'll have two wings, which will look like this. Now, with the wings, you can use a different leaf. I happen to have some fern, and so the fern has a very long set of leaves on it. So I thought, wow, it really looked like feathers. And again, you can have the kids pinch. You do not have to use the same things that I'm using, but if you can find them, that'll be great. So if you can see my wing with the fern, and then you would do the same way that we did the owl. You do the same thing for the wing, bringing it up to the top. Well, the last thing I want to show you is I also did an oval. And remember those little pines that I showed you? Well, I put all those little pine inside the tummy. These fall off at this time every year in my yard, only because they're getting ready to get pine cones. I have a really big pine tree in my yard. So this is the little pine that I took. A lot of them are on the ground already, and then I glued it on so that I could have all these little ones right here. This is going to be the center of my owl, which is like an oval. Again, you can fill it with anything that you want or you find in your own yard. So I'm going to show you how to put it all together. So you will take your owl, then you will take your wing, and then you will take your eyes, and you will glue all of this together. Now, what you want to do is you want to put some eyeballs inside here. So I have a black marker, and I put some eyes. And then I thought a nice brown marker would do really good for a beak. So have the kids color, or they could paint. They could do whatever they want to do. And then see, as you keep going, you can bring it up to here and do a beak. So it's like that. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like almost finished. It's pretty heavy. Oh, You see my wings, and you see that I have some eyes. Well, the last thing I want to show you is what I did for the feet. Remember that piece of vine I showed you? Yeah. There's a piece here, and I was looking at it, and I said, wow, there's 3 branches together. And so what I'm going to do is cut them. I'm going to cut off the top so that I don't have so much, and then I'm going to have 3. I'm going to make a little cloth for my feet. And this is out of the branch from the mint. I also have ivy. And then it looks like this. Now, doesn't that look like a little foot? Yeah. So maybe I'll just cut it down just a little bit more so not so far together. All right. There we go. Now we have that little foot. I'm very curious as how you're going to put it on, huh? Well, we could do a few things. We can cut in to the top, cut the branch in half, and then put some glue on, and then stick it in like that, and then we have a foot. And then you do the same with another piece of branch. So I have another branch over here, and we can do the same. If you cannot, if it will not stay on, then you're always welcome to staple. And then that way it will keep the feet on a little bit better. But this is my recycled owl. And when I'm all finished coloring him and doing all the stuff that I want to do with him, and you'll see when the leaves, they're starting to dry a little bit, they'll turn like a greenish brown. And then it's almost what an owl looks like with his feathers. So then the last thing I'm going to do is, remember that little pine cone that I did? Fill that all in, and I'm going to glue it to his tummy. And that's like the center. And then, like I said, I will put another piece of material in here. You can use anything you want and you can find inside your yard. Well, thank you, everyone. I hope that you had fun making a recyclable and nature owl. Come back for another time.